Welcome back to the channel. Anthony Hutley here, where we are currently going through my Syntorial homework so I can get my head around it, and hopefully you can too. Today we're looking at the amp envelope's decay and sustain settings, and I know that sounds boring, but don't click off just yet, because actually once you understand them, they really help you like shape sounds and fit them into mixes and stuff like that, and plus you can get really creative with them. So come in and let me take you through it. So the patches we had to make in Primer were this. So that's one, and here's how it sounds in Pigments. Pretty good, pretty close. And then the second one was called Pluck Ditto. This is it in Primer. Pretty cool. And this is it in Pigments. Yeah, so it's pretty simple. It's nothing too crazy. The decay setting, it's just the amp envelope with the no sustain. The decay setting's quite low. 2 oscillators involved, 50-50, both on sawtooth waves, and the second oscillator was tuned up 2 octaves. That's super easy for the pluck. And for the bass surge, it was 2 pulse widths. So I think they were like kind of medium, not super wide, in the middle there somewhere, medium pulse width. And then the second oscillator was tuned up 2 octaves. The filter cutoff was down a little bit, just there. And then with the amp envelope, the attack is a little bit slower. So instead of being a fast attack, we've got it a little bit slower there. And then you'll notice, like, if you look at the amp envelope here, the sustain is quite a bit lower than the max volume there. So have a listen to it. Ready? So yeah, it hits max volume and then it tapers off slowly to reach the sustained sound. And that's kind of part of the beauty of having access to decay and sustain parameters, because they give you the option to do that. So those are the patches that I recreated. Now let me show you what I made. The first one was this. I just called it Delay Pluck. Alright, so I'll show you what I did to recreate that real quick. Let's just initialize here. First things first, I had 2 saw waves, both at max. The second oscillator was set 3 octaves up. Then, I don't think I touched the filter at all. But in the amp envelope section, I had the decay all the way down. Sustain all the way down, sorry. I had the sustain all the way down. The decay was up a little bit, maybe there. About there. And then after that, I just used a bit of delay on here. So it was dotted eighths. Oh, it might have been 16ths actually. I can't remember if it was in poly or mono mode, but I'm just going to chuck it in mono anyway. Cool. So that's the patch. Let me just see how close I got. So here we are. And then this is the one I created earlier. Ah, okay. So I did have the cutoff down a little bit. There you go. This is the next one, and I called it Before Euphoria because, all things considered, it's a really simple sound. And once we learn a little bit more, this sound is going to be like a perfect starting point for an epic lead, and it's already sounding great. So here, listen. Let me initialize that now, and I'll show you what I did. In analog mode, I just used 2 oscillators. The second oscillator was tuned up 1 octave and a 5th. So we're on 19 steps up. And then I just mixed that in, not all the way in. So like, and that gives it kind of like almost like a detuned sound, but it's not detuned. Obviously, it's 5th. And then down on the amp envelope, I left the attack as it is. I pulled the sustain just down a little bit. And then I shortened the decay a little bit as well, just so. And then after that, I think I added a bit of length to the release. Moving on, once that was done, we moved on to the effects section. So I repeated something that I did in the last episode. I think it might have been a trick from John Audio. Thanks, John. So I had the first delay on 1 quarter notes, and I don't think I messed with any of these settings. I think it just left it like that. And then the second delay, I made it a dotted eighth. And that's it. I didn't even use the filter envelope, so I could just bypass that. Alright gang, there we go. That's a couple of ways that we can utilize the amp envelope's decay and sustain parameters. So I hope that helps. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop us a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.